What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? This AK the Apostle. Let's talk sports. What we talking about? What we talking about? All right, man. Week 3 in the books. Week 4 is in the books. We had a couple things pop off. Miami got jolted by the Bills. Man, listen, it's gonna be that type of season. It's a week to week league. One week, one team may look like they invincible. The next they may look shaky. But right now, the Bills look like they shook off that week 1 loss. Josh Allen playing ball. Stephon Diggs playing ball. They look like they really gonna be formidable. So one thing for sure. Right now in the AFC, it look like one of 3 teams is gonna be like Miami, Buffalo, and of course Kansas City will probably one of them scenarios is gonna end up. And being that Patrick Mahomes has never not made it to the at least the AFC Championship game, I would look for him to bounce back, get them, get Kelsey somewhat back in the fold, and they will probably end up in the AFC Championship game. Looking like that. No diss to Baltimore or any of them other teams right now, but they will look like they just got to step it up a little bit more before we put them up there with those guys. But anything is possible. But we got to see it now. AFC South, which I think is the weakest division of football, but I got to give a shout out to CJ Stroud. He is balling, and the guy Richardson for the Colts. These young quarterbacks are balling, man. They got them teams being formidable. That is. We thought it was going to be Jacksonville's year, and they was going to walk away with that division. Or we also thought Tennessee was going to bounce back with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, and of course, you got the freight train. Derrick Henry, but it's not working out like that. They already deadlocked at 2-2. Who knows how that'll play out? But right now, I'm liking what C.J. Stroud and Richardson is doing over there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Baltimore looked like Deshaun Watson struggling, and also he banged up, and I was all in. Joe Burrow, I said before the season started, everybody told me I was crazy. I said it'd probably be best if Joe Burrow sat down the rest of the whole preseason, missed like the first 3 or 4 games in the season, to let that calf heal, a lot more, and then he'll probably be able to, make a run at it. You know what I mean? Whether they 1-3 or 0-4. They still will have a better chance. But now that injury is going to linger out throughout the whole year till he eventually sits down, and they're not going to be in contention this year because of that decision. I know it's a hard decision to make, but they pretty much out of the fold this year. They're not going to be much of a threat this year. Sorry for those who got Jamar Chase and all of them on their fantasy team. It's not going to go well for you. You know what I mean? It's not gonna go well. Pittsburgh, they in the rebuilding stage. They're not gonna be an opponent. So Baltimore, unless Cleveland can get healthy and turn things around, look like Baltimore is gonna come out of that division. You know what I'm saying? No question. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the AFC East is gonna be a battle till the end. Just because Buffalo got them this time, don't mean that Miami won't sting them later on in the year. But plus Miami's still gonna get Jalen Ramsey back. And some other things, and to get Waddle back in the fold, the thing coming off the concussion, and we'll see. And of course, the AFC West, that's locked up. You know what I mean? The Raiders are horrible. The LA Chargers are hit or miss, and Denver is a dumpster fire. You know what I mean? Which brings me to this. Denver, you might as well go ahead, send a deal to Dallas for Patrick Surtain, which I think they should do. Philadelphia in the NFC East, Philadelphia still look. Everybody's talking about how Philadelphia don't look the same, and Philadelphia struggling, and Philadelphia not doing this, and Philadelphia not doing that. They're 4-0. They're 4-0. They find a way to win games. They're playing winning football. Bottom line, they're playing winning football. Jalen Hurts he threw for 300 the other day. They put up 34 points. They're scoring 28 points a game. So I don't see how somebody can say a 28-point game offense is struggling. I don't get it. So it don't look like it did last year. But they caught teams by surprise last year. They're not catching teams by surprise. But teams know they're legit Super Bowl contenders, so their teams are coming at them. However, but they still find ways to win games. Shout out to the Commanders. They played a great game. Sam Howell put on his big boy pants. They made big boy plays. The last, even except for the game against Buffalo, in every game they made meaningful plays at meaningful times. So they're maturing. It's just Philadelphia was able to just get the nod. Who knows? They play in about another month in DC. The game may go differently. But for now, Philly is still the team to beat in the NFC till somebody takes them on the throne. Also, Cowboys. I still think that Trayvon Diggs' injury is humongous. I personally want to see them use the younger guys on the team, the Israel Matomalas and the Eric Scotts. I want to see those guys get in more than I see the Malik Hookers, the Donovan Wilsons, and the Jordan Lewises. You know what I mean? I know what they got with them, but they can be had. I think these young boys, let them see what they can be. I think Israel can grow into be a all pro, a star in his league. I believe he's that big of a playmaker. He can play safety or corner, and I believe he could be the X factor to change this season. And if you don't want to use him, then make a trade for somebody else that can't come in. Giants, you're a dumpster fire. The Giants are a dumpster fire. Then they look like they have got locked last place in the NFC East, locked up, and they look like they may be on their way to being one of the worst teams in the entire NFC. Not as bad as Carolina, but they on their way. Now, speaking of that division, Baker Mayfield got Tampa Bay somewhat formidable. They in the mix, they in the fold. So they looking halfway decent while the Saints try to figure it out, and Carolina's a dumpster fire. You know what I'm saying? Carolina's a dumpster fire, and we're yet to figure out what exactly Atlanta is. But we'll find those things out in the next couple weeks. Okay, which takes us over to the North. Okay, in the North, they all over the place. Detroit is looking like they're gonna be the bad boys of that division because they took things by the reins. Green Bay is so, and Chicago is not there. So Chicago's still trying to figure it out, and they still trying to rebuild. So they're going to be not that good this year. And then also, you already know about Minnesota. They have fell from grace. So right now, it looks like Detroit is going to be a team. And Detroit is formidable this year. Which brings us to the West. This year in the NFCs, the East and the West are the two best. And, Seattle looking good. But, we still need to see more. And then, of course, the Rams are so-so. Arizona's down in the bottom, but then you have those mighty 49ers who look like they could be the ones to represent the NFC. So right now in the NFC, it is definitely right now in the NFC is definitely between Philadelphia and San Fran as who will be the team to represent the NFC. And if Dallas can get one of them young players to step up, or maybe, they come up with some different game planning. This Sunday, we're going to find out a lot about Dak Prescott. Sunday is all about Dak Prescott. We know what your defense could do. Your defense has played well against the 49ers the last couple of years. Who knows? And that's with Trey. They may be able to explore some things, but Dak, this is your game. You cannot have turnovers. You cannot have turnovers in this game. This is the game that you can't have a turnover. This is the game that you've been sitting there saying we're ready for, and we're going to see if the Cowboys can take the next step. Dak Prescott, this is your time. Everything that need to be back intact, the red zone woes and all that stuff, this is your time to step up to the plate and get it done. That's my take. That's my NFL talks. Be back at y'all with another one soon. Let's talk sports, y'all, please. And for those watching these videos, please like, subscribe to the channel. We got some nice content coming your way soon. If you got any type of feedback, we'll take that too. And also, we're looking for sponsors and investors. So y'all be blessed. One.